for joining us again this morning for our third session together. We are happy to welcome you back to the BIC Africa Acceleration Program for Female Entrepreneurs. We are so happy to have you here again. As you know by now, hopefully, I am Danielle Anderson. I am your facilitator and coach throughout this program. And today I am not going to be the one talking for the next 2 hours. Instead, we have our first trainer joining us. Her name is Yana Titch. And Yana will be introducing herself in a bit more detail in just a couple of minutes' time. But big warm welcome to Yana. She's also super excited to be here and joining us for our first training session today. So our first training session is all about why. Why are you in business? And we talked about this a little bit last week when we were talking about becoming a leader and what your personal why is. But today we're going to dig deeper into your business why and understand more about what is your mission, what is it that you're trying to do in your business, and finding out your unique why, which ultimately allows you to stand apart from your competition. Because let's be honest, there's always going to be another business out there that's doing pretty similar stuff to what you're doing. Very few of our businesses are super unique or super innovative that they're going to be like the only ones out there. And competition isn't a bad thing. But when you're clear about what your why is and what your mission is, that's when you start to attract the right people to your business, because then they can differentiate you from others that are doing something similar. So super important topic today. Yana will be digging into all of this in a bit more detail in just a couple of minutes. But before we get started, you might remember, you might not, because it was a couple weeks ago, that we are going to have a workbook that we go through during your training sessions. To access this workbook, and Christina, if you can help me out here just by putting the link directly into the chat, to access this workbook, you want to click on the link that Christina is about to share with you, and then you're going to want to make your own copy. Please do not edit the one that you go to initially, because everyone needs to have this as their template. Instead, you're going to make your own copy. So let me just walk you through how to do that. Christina has just popped the link into the chat just now. And Christina, there's also a request to please put it into the WhatsApp group. So please, if you could also pop it in there. When you open that link, you are going to come to, let me expand my screen a bit so that you can see. You are going to come to a workbook that looks like this. I then want you to go to File, Make a Copy, and you're going to now copy the entire presentation. Okay, so go to File, Make a Copy, Entire Presentation. You are then going to come with this pop-up box that allows you to rename the document. So what I would like you to do now is to rename this document to be your name. So you can keep it as BIC Africa, but at the beginning of it, you would put, for me, it would be Danielle Anderson. Share it with the same people so that so us as facilitators and trainers can also see it. And then you can go ahead and make a copy. Now, when you make a copy, it's going to open it up again for you. And it will take a couple of minutes because it's going to copy all of the slides that are in there. You are now able to edit the stuff that's in this workbook, okay? So what you'll see in this workbook is that there are going to be 7 different sections. Each of them are aligned to a specific training session. And I know we have 6 training sessions. There are 7 sections because there's one extra section at the end, which is also going to be incorporated into the final training session. But there's going to be different sections, each aligned to a specific training session. So today, you are going to be working through section 1, Mission-Driven Entrepreneurship with Yana. Yana is going to indicate at what point she wants you to go into the workbook and start working on it, and at what points you're just going to be listening or participating in a different way. Now, if you can't work in the workbook right now, because maybe you don't have access, maybe you're on your phone and like it's hard for you to type, that's okay. Just take notes in a notebook and you can transfer it into the workbook later. But this workbook is going to be the basis of your homework in between the training sessions. And I'll come back to that at the end of this session and talk to you about your homework a little bit more. But hopefully you have been able to access this workbook. Gugu, I see you're driving and listening, so you'll do it when you reach the office. That's totally fine. As I said, just make notes on your phone for now, or even on a piece of paper, and come back to it later, okay? All right. that's enough for me for now. I am now going to hand over to Yana, who's going to, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. She'll start sharing hers, and I will see you all again in about an hour and a half's time. Yana, over to you.
Thank you so much. I hope you see the right screen with the slides. And it's so nice to meet you. I'm sorry that I couldn't meet you already in the kickoff session. I was on holidays, but anyways, we will be together this time for today for mission-driven entrepreneurship, like mission, vision, values, and next week again for your unique value proposition. So as I didn't get to know you, but you can, oh no, it's not working. It's working. I would like to introduce myself as well. As Danielle already said, my name is Jana. I'm 32 years old. I'm living in south of Germany, close to Switzerland and France. Big believer in failing forward. That means actually just trying out new things. And if it doesn't work out, okay, leave it. Let's go do something else. Just trying out a lot of new things. Last year was my newest hobby to start brewing beer. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then you just start again. And obviously strong coffee. My background is Bachelor of Arts. I traveled a lot during studies in China, Dublin, England, worked there, studied there. Then I went back to Germany. I had some experience in the automotive industry, or I had a lot of work to do with male engineers, and kind of setting up as well a business networking group for women, especially because in male-driven industries, it's always hard to stand for yourself up and to communicate in another way because you're women. But after that, I decided to go into consulting. That's my current job at BWCon. BWCon stands for Baden-Württemberg Connected, and we're a company to bring digital transformation like AI, blockchain, and other stuff to small companies in the region. So I'm working for the companies in my region, but as well in Europe. That's how I came to EBN and to this pretty nice project, which I'm looking forward to. And what I'm doing is mainly to help teams to set up their business model, to set up their mission vision, what we will be doing today, to set up a team, to find a unique value proposition, and then up to marketing stuff, sales stuff as well. But as or like my motivation to be in here, I was always active for women in tech, for networking for women, because we just work different, we think different, we live different than male entrepreneurs. And I would love to help women, support women in being entrepreneurs, because we can do that. And sometimes even better than the guys. Sorry. So much to myself. I would like to get to know you a little bit more, and I would like to use the chat function. And could you please leave a word, a comment, something? What is your deepest motivation as an entrepreneur? Like, why did you start this journey? Just one word in the chat, that would be great. And I'll try to open the chat as well. Living my passion, that sounds great. Passion? I thought the first comment will be money. Freedom. Equal opportunities for all. Impact to others. That sounds great. Making a difference. Impact and change. Legacy. Wow. value, money. Positive impact to the world. That sounds great. Nice. Thank you. Nice missions or values you're bringing. Change the world with fashion design industry in Africa. Really good. Cool. Thank you. So we can stop this session because you all have your mission figured out or your vision. No, joking. That's a perfect start and it looks very good. And I'm looking forward to get to know a bit more of you. But what we will be doing today. So what you'll take away today, if you don't if you already have your mission, vision, values set up, that's great. Maybe you can take something with you today and maybe adjust them a little bit, tweak them a little bit, make them more personal. If you don't have it, your takeaway today will be your draft mission statement, your draft vision statement, 3 core values you'll be taking with you, and then we will look into the UN SDGs, which can be as well a purpose or a value that you can take into your business as well. And don't be scared if I explicitly wrote draft mission statement, because you won't be having like your final statement at the end of today, maybe not even next week. It will change in the course of your business and your entrepreneurship journey. So it's a living document. You can tweak it and work with it at the end. So that's what I'm trying to promise you at 12:15. And then let's see, go through it. Let's start. So before we start with the why, who of you knows Simon Sinek? Just thumbs up. I hope I can see that. No, nobody. Okay, that's great. So, who's Simon Sinek? He's a marketing and purpose guru, I would say. I think the slides will be shared with you and you can just look into the video. It's a TED Talk on YouTube. It's only 7 minutes long and it's, I think, from 2012. But Simon Sinek wrote some books and he introduced as well the Golden Circle. I don't know if you saw that as well, but this Golden Circle explains the 3 layers of communication, decision-making, and organization. So what does happen here? He says like any company you're working on knows what they're doing. So they are communicating, they're knowing what they're producing, what their service is like. We sell skincare or we build software for schools. That's what you're doing. It's your product, it's your service. Probably the first thing you started. The next layer is the how. So how I'm doing it. This is a little more specific than the what. And that's the point where you differentiate your business from other business. So maybe we're doing skincare, but we source everything locally. So we're kind of eco-friendly. That makes me different from other companies. Or maybe you're like a cruelty-free company, so you're not doing tests on animals. Or I don't know, any other thing you can make up. That's what differentiates you from other companies. But still, you now communicated the what I'm doing, how I'm doing, eco-friendly, for example. But that's not the real reason why your customers, other people might care about your business, because they were like, okay, there's another 10 companies who are selling cruelty-free skincare, or are doing individualized software for schools, for example. So what we're trying to do today and what you should think about in your business as well is the why. Why am I doing this? That means your purpose, your belief, your cause. Because that's the most powerful thing you can use to communicate in your business, to drive you through hard times. Because let's be honest, being an entrepreneur, starting a startup or an own business is not easy, and you will have hard times, but the why you're doing something is the thing that keeps you going. So at the end of this video, Simon Sinek says, like, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. For example, why was Apple that time? I think they didn't have the iPhone when the video was released, but they were selling laptops, and they were so successful because they just didn't sell laptops because any other company did that too, like Dell and Lenovo and all the other stuff. They said, I want to challenge the status quo, I want to be better, and I want to empower creativity. So that was their purpose. So they didn't sell laptops. Obviously, they sold laptops, that's their business, but to the customer, they sold their why. I want to empower creativity. So what we're trying to answer today is not what you're doing. I mean, you should know. I mean, you know that it's your business. You know what you're doing. Probably you also well know how you're going to do that. But what we're going to work on today is the why. Why are you in business? And why is a purpose so important for your business? And why it's even more important to have it clear and why it makes it for you an advantage. So first thing is, or the first reason why purpose matters is that it builds trust and brand identity for your customers. So the customers today, especially the younger ones, they care deeply where they're sourcing from. So they're looking into the company, what values you have, if you're sourcing eco-friendly, if you're empowering women, for example, or children. So they look into who is behind that product, what are they believing in, can I stay loyal, will I stay loyal, and do I believe in what you offer? So even if you think about some brands you love, any brand, if we stay with the iPhone, Apple, is it really better than any Google phone or Samsung phone? Probably not. But you believe in the brand behind it, or you just like the marketing. They're doing great marketing. Obviously, this doesn't mean that you do that with anything. Like, I don't know, a local food store, maybe, yes, but I don't know, stupid example, toilet paper. You don't care where it's coming from or what brand is behind them. Probably you just take the one you usually take or the cheapest one. I don't know. But in other products, you buy it because you believe in the brand behind them. The second point is if you have a clear purpose, you are able to attract the right team members, to attract the right investors, to attract the right advisors, because hopefully they believe in the same purpose as you, they have the same vision as you, and they would like to work with you and support you to do something meaningful, to create a legacy, to change something, to have an impact. Obviously, to make money as well. That's why we do it at the end of the day, because you need to eat something at the end of the day and live somewhere. But with a clear purpose, with your clear vision and mission statement, you can just go to investors, to team colleagues or future team colleagues and say like, okay, that's why I'm in business. Are you on the same page? Let's work together. Or maybe if we're not, so not. That's fine, because we're not believing in the same future, for example. And the third, I already mentioned it already, but it keeps you focused during challenges. So probably if you would be working in, as I do, just as an employee of a company, you're kind of safe. It's hopefully fun, you get your money and you're happy at the end of the day. But you've decided to do something more special as you started your own business. But it means as well, like, hopefully it goes all well, but you will have some hard times, some challenges you will need to face, because it's not easy to build a business, but it's worth it. And there will be moments where you will feel stuck, tired, unsure, or you don't know where to go. And that's when your purpose comes back to you and it reminds you like why you started. And it helps you keep going, even if you don't know where to go. Money does that as well, but you could get money from an employment job as I do. But the purpose behind it keeps you going through hard times. So keep in mind that a mission, a vision is not only a buzzword, obviously it is, but you can use it as a real tool to attract customers, to attract investors, to attract team members, to lead and to make your business successful. Cool. I don't know, Danielle, or if there are any questions in the chat, I have only 2 screens. Please just let me know if you're checking the chat. I do it from time to time, but not that I miss questions.
Yes, I'm in there. Don't worry. I will highlight them, but just not to interrupt you though. So just let me know when you want me to read anything out.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Cool. So that's about the purpose. I've brought to you as well one example of a company which or who have a good or a nice mission, vision, value statement that I found on the internet. I'm not sure who of you knows VASI Vision already.
But I have to cancel these other.
Nobody. No worries. I brought it to you as well. It's a female-led company, VASI Vision in Uganda, and it was founded by Brenda, an Ugandan entrepreneur. I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce the last name, and I will just make fun of myself and not be respectful about Brenda, but let's leave it. Brenda and Georgette, and 2 entrepreneurs. Georgette was a telecom engineer before, and their goal was to make eyewear, eye care, like glasses and stuff, more accessible and affordable in Uganda. And what they did was, so that's the what, as you remember, the outer circle, the what, they do affordable eye care in Uganda. Stop. Second thing was they used recycled plastic from, is it too loud, the background noise? I hope not. Just let me know if it is. So how they do it? They use recycled plastic. It was locally produced. The frames were even designed by African artists to have some cultural relevance, to have some comfort. So that's the how they did it. So that separates them from any other eyewear company, which could come from the US or any other company. And what makes them stand out is their mission and vision, which we will go on in the next few steps. But as it's already like stated here, they want to help people, especially children, to see clearly and succeed in life. And here you can see some values as well. But we will go through it step by step. We will always, or in each step, look into BIC vision as the example, and then you can work on your own mission, vision, value statement. So that's about BIC vision. Let's go into your business foundation. The mission, the vision, the values. So in the next steps, we will define why you exist. So the little middle in the circle, the future you want to create, and what you stand for as a person, but as well as a business. So especially as a business today. So this is how it's going to look like. You will find on the internet different sources, but it always comes to those 3 points, and it's really short in here. So let's dig into it. We've now thought or talked about why a purpose can be so powerful, why you need it, how it shows up in real business, and let's create your mission, vision, and values. Let's start with the mission. The mission, as you can see, is the why you exist. It's why your business exists today. And the mission should be like a short 1, 2, 3 sentences, whatever you like. It should answer, what do you do today? For whom do you do it? And why does it matter? So what kind of problem are you trying to solve today? So those are like the questions that you can answer to write your mission statement. If we go into vision, it's like your, what is it called? Polar star. The vision is about the future. So how is your business going to look like in 5 to 10 years, for example, or maybe in 15 years? You are like in a mission, you're focusing on the present, what I'm doing today, what I'm trying to solve. The vision is, what am I trying to solve in 10 years, for example? And it should be like bold, aspirational. It's something what keeps you moving forward, as in the BIC vision example. It's like they want to improve eye care, make it more accessible for children, and make their lives better. And then the values at the end, what guides your behavior, but as well your team's behavior. So what are the principles that guide how you and your team behave, how you make decisions, how you treat people, how you treat customers, how you work together even. That's the values you can define for your business. And these 3 elements, we will go through them step by step in a second, are the basis on or for why you are in business. Not what you're doing, not how you're doing it, but why you are doing what you're doing. So, question to you ladies. Who of you has already written a vision, a mission, vision, and values for your business? I can see Maureen did it already. You can just give a hands up if you did it. Nobody? Yes. Natasha, thank you. Nina, Maureen. Perfect. Ella. Very good. Great. Okay, a lot of you already did it. Anita, nice. Dina. Okay, so a lot of you did it. Very good, very good. So we will use the session to kind of like maybe improve it, maybe do another perspective on it, but let's just stay with me, work with me, and we'll get through it. Cool. So let's start with the mission. Why you exist. So as already mentioned a few minutes before, is the mission is why you exist. So what do we do, for whom do we do it, and why? So we're staying in the present, we're telling what drives us day to day. The mission statement should be clear, concise, and actionable. Stay in the present, not we will, but we're doing, we're creating, so stay in the present tense. And as already said, like we will work on a draft or maybe improve or work on your mission vision statement today, but don't be scared if it's not finalized. It can change during your business, and it should change as well during this sessions, because that's why you're here. You want to get another input from our side, and obviously what I'm saying as well is just an information. You can use it if you feel good with it. If you feel with yours already pretty fine and it's working for you, leave it, please. I'm just trying to give you another perspective on it. So, the mission. As I already mentioned, we have Vasi Vision again, their mission. I copied it from their website. You can already find it under the link in here, so you can look it all up. But their mission is to make, you see they're staying in the present tense, high quality prescription glasses. So that's what they're doing, accessible in Uganda and beyond. So they've kind of set up their market. They primarily stay in Uganda, but they want to go beyond as well. But their main focus is Uganda.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. There are two people
Yes.
raising their hands, so maybe we just give them a word whenever you.
Of course.
I think they
Yes.
were raising their hands though just to answer that they had their mission before, but let's just check with them, Maureen and Polina.
Yes, do you have questions?
Okay, yeah, maybe it was from before then.
Probably, but yeah, not the raised
Okay,
hands are
never
gone.
mind. Sorry,
Thank you
thanks.
so much, but interrupt me. Thank you. That's very good. So, yeah, mission. We're talking about the what, the where, to whom, hopefully, but they as well stating, okay, how we're doing it. Every pair is designed by African artists, and we're distributing it through flagship stores, hospitals, optical stores. And then we already have like why we do it a little bit. We help people see clearly and confidently. And I'm pretty sure that they put like a huge amount of work into this mission statement and are like on version 245. And they will change it in future as well. So never mind. It's important that you start writing, and you can change it or adapt it in the course of your business. So that's kind of an example. So I've talked enough about the mission statement. I would like to, or you to go back to your existing mission statement or just start on a empty piece of paper and just state for or write down for yourself your mission. And that's kind of a sentence that should help you. We exist to create software for schools, for example. So that impact what I'm trying to solve, what problem am I trying to solve, so that, I don't know, teachers are have easier access to or can better help their students, whatever. Be creative. And I would like say like, maybe not, let's take a look at my time. Oh, we're good. Like 3 to 4 minutes. You can either work directly in the workbook or just write it down on a piece of paper, or if you're driving, obviously don't write. But use the time now, 3 to 4 minutes, and write this sentence for your business, please. And if you have questions, ask them. Already time reading as well. We have questions. Please unmute yourself and ask.
Okay, my question is, do we write it in the page 5 of the workbook where there is mission, vision, values?
Thank you for that. I've repeated. No, I've closed the window. Yes, please do that, and I'll try to find it in a second, so I can show it to you. My internet is great. So you can go on slide 5 and write it down in here. Christina or Daniel, could you share?
Yeah, I'm
the-
gonna share
yeah.
again the workbook.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Christina. Time is up. I have no idea if that was enough to have like a short draft for you. Do you need like 1 or 2 more minutes? Is there anybody? Is there anyone? 1 more minute. Okay, let's do that. And if somebody's ready, maybe one of you would like to share their short draft mission, either in the chat or unmute yourself. Ha, that was quick.
Good morning. Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. My name is Natasha. So I run a laundromat. So I offer laundry services. And so our mission, we exist to deliver high quality laundry services that will exceed customer expectations by taking care of their laundry one item at a time.
That sounds great and precise. I was just thinking, exceed my expectations. Nice, that sounds great. And I'll just read out some more of the chat. I exist to empower youth through eco-friendly innovation and entrepreneurship so that they can lead the way towards a greener, more sustainable future. That sounds great. Or we exist to create digital tools such as websites, internal systems, and branding. So what we're doing, the what, so that we boost visibility, simplify operations, and maximize social impact of NGOs, health institutions, and purpose-driven business. That sounds great. So I won't read all of them, but you can, let's take this one. We exist to create meaningful employment for vulnerable individuals while reducing waste in the textile industry in Madagascar. That sounds great. I love that you're working so good. Nice. Thank you so much for sharing. No, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. You can see like even like in this short time, obviously a lot of you already had your or put some input or thought into your mission, vision statements for your pitch deck to apply here for the program. But you can see like with a little help, with a little introduction, like this sentence, you can even like think through it in a structured way and get a solution. Thank you so much. So that's kind of like the miracle behind mission statement. It's nothing too special, but it's important for you to make it clear for yourself to rethink why you are in business, why you're doing what you're doing. And if you're happy with your mission statement and the vision afterwards, print it out, write it down, put it on a pin board or something, somewhere where you can see and where you can look at each day, even if some dangerous emails are coming up. They're not dangerous, obviously, but sometimes, at least I feel like I'm in danger with some emails. So that's the miracle with the mission statement. Let's go to the vision. So we've now defined what we're doing right now in the present and what we're trying to solve. And now we will go into the future. So what kind of future would you like to create? Sometimes the mission and the vision statements are like kind of working together and you can't really separate them or separate them strictly, but that's totally fine as long as you'll be like, okay, that's what we're doing now, why we're doing it now, and the future we want to create. That's the greatest difference. Sometimes it's the same text. It could be. So don't be too strict to yourself with that one. So the vision. The vision for your business is your long-term dream or the change you want to see in the world. It should be inspirational, bold, future focused, as well as like, what is my community and industry looking like in 10, 20 years? Sometimes it's even a vision, a goal which you will not achieve. So it's like so far away that it's your purpose. You want to end world hunger, or you want to save the environment, or something like that. You want to have, we will look into that in the SDGs from the UN, United Nations as well. But it's something you want to achieve in the future, which is leading you and every decision you make. And as well as the purpose, it helps to align with your stakeholders, investors, advisors, suppliers. Are the suppliers that you're working with, are they aligning with your vision? If they're, I don't know, destroying nature and you want to have an eco-friendly and environmental friendly company, maybe it's not part of your vision to take this supplier. Sometimes you don't have a choice, but if you have, the vision helps you to make these choices as well with team members, which we'll go into in a bit. So that's actually all regarding the vision. Let's look into our example, BIC Vision, the eyewear company, and their vision was that in the future, every African child can see clearly and therefore succeed in school and thrive in life, regardless of income. So their vision is that any child in Africa, and probably in a few years they will go beyond Africa and be like, okay, regardless of your income, regardless where you're coming from, you will have access to eyewear, you will see clearly and therefore have the perfect basis for you to go to school, to thrive in life, to go to university, to make something of it. So their vision is to make children's lives better in the future through their what and how. So this is like their future. So I would like you now as well go back to your workbook or paper you're working on, and now take some time for your business. Imagine what your business is going to look like in 10 years. That's not too far. Maybe you can think as well of 12, 20 years, but what has changed in your industry, in your community? What has changed in your business you're working on? And write down the sentence, we envision a future where da 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 da, for example. And let's look for a mission, just to give you an example. The one, we exist to create highly quality different design for clothes for women and make them unique and different. So that in future, and now you can think of what your business looks like in future. Is it that, I don't know, the fashion is up to, I don't know, haute couture in your business? Or is it something else you want to achieve? What is your goal you're thinking of? So you can take the time, use the workbook, your paper, and just write it down. And I leave you some time as well to write it down for yourself. What is your business looking like in 10 years? Somebody already wrote it in the chat. Good. Thank you for sharing it in the chat already. I love your business visions. Where can I invest? I don't have money, but I would love to. Sounds really good. And that was really short time, but I started to read out. They sound really good. One remark with the honey from Madagascar. You can be, it's great, but don't say, I hope, I will. I envision a future that we will export honey from Madagascar to abroad nations. So it can be like, how is it in English, more and self-conscious, but more believing in yourself. So you can be like, you will be successful. You can write that in your vision. Sounds great. Let's read for another. To be leading provider of business development services in Africa, fostering a thriving ecosystem of successful SMEs. That sounds great. We could be interchanging that to Baden-Württemberg, Germany, and that would be like the vision of our company. You envision a future where waste is upcycled into new products. That sounds great. Good. Yeah, we envision to build a growing company that creates 100 jobs, leads in sustainable fashion, and sees our eco-friendly dresses and accessories embraced worldwide. That sounds great. Quality laundry care, affordable, convenient, and eco-friendly. That sounds good. Thank you so much. The vision sounds really good. So you can see with the mission, we stayed like what we're doing now, and the vision can be like really believing in yourself, what I am going to, or what we are going to change, what impact will we have in 10 and 20 years. And as I already said or mentioned, print it out, write it down somewhere, so it is visible to you, because so that you can see it like even in good times, in hard times, and see like, where are we going? Where is my direction? Where do I want to be in 10 years, 20 years? And based on that, I can make decisions now that will lead me there step by step. And obviously that's why it's a vision. It's not easy to achieve that, and it's not fast, or like you won't achieve it in a fast way, but it's the direction you want to go, and it will take you there step by step, day by day. You can take that and use it for yourself, for your team, but as well as a communication to your customers, to your stakeholders, suppliers, investors, whoever is reading that. You can use that and be like, okay, that's where I want to go. Support me, buy my products or my services. Don't go to the competitor next door. Yeah, cool. Thank you. Let's go to the third part as well in the workbook, your values. In the session with Danielle, you already discussed your personal values. You've defined them hopefully, or could find some of your personal values. But now we will look to the values of your business, of your company. That's kind of part of, let's remove this thingy here. How you work on a day-to-day basis, how you lead your team, what are the guiding principles, how do we work together, how do I contact customers, how is my marketing going, how are we making decisions in the company? Is it top down, or is it like without a hierarchy and democratic way? Whatever, each way has their own basis to be existing. There's nothing wrong or right, but it has to be fitting you and your business and your team. And with the values, it's important that you don't just list them or define them and just hang them up somewhere and be like, okay, that's the values, we defined them, but who cares? Jana told us to do that. Homework done. But no, you guys should try and bring them to your team and live daily by your values, make decisions based on your values, and create your business based on those values. And the ideal thing is that you have like 3 to 5 core values that you have for your business, and they reflect your DNA as a company. Let's go back to our use case today, BIC Vision. They have created 4 values they're living daily by. And you can find it on their website as well in this way. But they have those for accessibility. We already saw that in the mission and vision statement. They want to make eye care accessible, regardless of their income or their location in Africa. Their value is innovation. Another buzzword, we use it a lot as well, but they want to bring innovation to their local community. So they design locally, they design sustainably, they are taking in local, not architects, designers, and trying to bring innovation in their business and around them. Empowerment is another value. They help children or empower children to thrive, as they said in their vision. They want to make their lives better and empower children, women, people. And another part is integrity. So they want to work transparently and ethically correct and bring their business into the local community. So those are 4 values, and I'm pretty sure as well that they put a lot of thought work into it, and they didn't come up with it in a 5-minute session as well. They've probably chosen it and worked on every word they have put on their website, but you can see like that's their really values as kind of like not a summary, but an extraction of their vision and mission in 4 words in a short sentence. So again, work for you to do. You have to, or I would love that if you could define for you, like right now, 3 values, and not like innovation and I don't know, any other buzzword. Just think of 3 values or words that you want to show up daily in every team decision, client meeting, or product or service you build. Like just write down 3 values that come to your mind when you think of okay, if I need to make a decision for a supplier, for example, what 3 values could be leading myself? Probably you already have some for your business. And yeah, let's take again 3 to 4 minutes. And I would love to either write it again in your workbook or on a piece of paper or in the chat directly as you like, just 3 words that define your business. Thank you. Oh,
And ladies, just to touch on the content from last week, your values in business might overlap with some of the personal values that you identified as well. And if that is the case, then that's totally okay. And if they're unique, then that's also okay. Just to touch on what we talked about last week with values.
thank you. Value page, yes, that's the third column and our mission values. Yeah. Thank you. Sounds nice. We have, for example, let's see, Suzanne, quality nutritious food, community impact, accessibility, Samsaman, reliable integrity empowerment, Maureen, customer satisfaction, empathetic relationships, environmental consciousness, adopting SDGs goals. Very nice. Integrity, give the consumers the pure and 100% natural honey product. Excellence. Respect, solidarity, and joy. That's really good. Commitment, ambition, and togetherness. Great. As just while you were writing down your values, I was as well thinking about and I just thought like from BWCon I need to reread the vision value statement, but what I didn't mention in the introduction, I worked like for 10 months in a shoe production company in the next village in the marketing department, and it was only 10 months kind of because they didn't go with my values, because they were just producing more and more and more fast fashion. And it was incredible how many shoes they were producing and they were thrown away. And I was like, that's not either not environmentally sustainable, but as well, like not the business is not going anywhere. So that was one of the reasons why I changed the job and was like, okay, now let's just do something else, do workshops and support local startup teams. And hopefully that in the case that I will have children sometime, they will have a job and a good living here in the south of Germany and with enough businesses and a good environment where they can live in and not just a lot of shoes. So yeah, I'm learning as well today with you together. I love those sessions. So let's look into another two. Environmental responsibility. Commitment to reducing pollution and conserving natural resources. Integrity and accountability. Be transparent and take responsibility to service delivery and regulatory compliance. Yep. Health and safety. Protect everyone from health hazards from waste. Sounds good. Nice. And in this case as well, like protect everyone from health hazards from waste. That means as well, like you're making decisions in your day-to-day business and are protecting as well your team members, for example, or your community from waste and the health hazards that are coming from. So in your day-to-day business, you're deciding, okay, I don't know, ordering recycled stuff instead of new and just throw it away. I don't know, just an example. That sounds very good. Thank you so much. I love that you're working with me or with us today and giving so much feedback. Thank you so much. Cool. So now that you've defined your mission, your like what we are doing day to day and why we're doing it, your vision, what is my goal, what is the business, the industry looking like in 10, 20, 30 years, whatever time slot you want to take, and the values. How do I make decisions in my team? How do I work day to day with consumers, customers, suppliers, and so on? So we now kind of have the draft version of those three parts. We would like to align those as well with your team. Don't worry if you don't have a team right now and you're right now a solo entrepreneur, but probably you will have someday a team. So you can take all the knowledge you get today to take that for your team building and hiring new people. So what you need, like you need a strong team, you need a skilled team, you need a motivated team that wants to work with you, obviously, or they just need a job and they're just doing a good job, but they should be as well aligned with your purpose. So they want to reach the same goal as you and they have the same value as you have, hopefully, and are making the same decisions, or not the same decisions, but they make decisions based on the same values that you share. So what we would like to do is in a specific step in time in the future, when you're hiring someone or you're changing the team structure, you would like to align your team with your why. Why am I doing business? I'm not just doing software. I'm not just doing shoes, for example. I am doing this because, because my future looks like your vision. So in order to align your team with your why, I will try to answer in the next few minutes, but take them with you. That's nothing you have to answer or that you can answer in a few minutes. Take those questions and think about them when setting up your team. So look into your maybe current team. Do they share your values? Do they make decisions based on your values? Do they believe in your mission if you're sharing that with you? Do they believe in that? Do they work with that? Or do they like, or are they like, okay, I don't know, the company will exist like 2 more years. I'm taking everything I can and then I'm done. Are they just doing the task? Where are your strengths in the team? Where are gaps, either in skills, knowledge, or values you're missing? What can be done better, but what is going on well today? And who do you need else to bring your vision to life? And for that, on the workbook, I hope it opens directly. On slide 6, you will find like a template with those 4 questions. You don't have to share that with us right now, but let's take another 5 minutes and write down for each topic, like what are the strengths we are currently having in our team? What are key skills we need? What are the people we need? How do we live our values? So try to answer those questions for yourself, and we will just take a few minutes and then you can do that afterwards and refine it. That would be great. Another 3 to 4 minutes, and then we will go on. Oh no. And I'm taking a look at the time. not much time. But I hope you could write down some bullet points or started with thinking about how your team could align or is aligning already with your why of the business. But that's obviously not enough time to answer all those questions. But I would love you to think about it a bit more and answer those questions for yourself. And maybe put some bullet points in the workbook, but it's important for you and your business. Good. Thank you so much. So, recap. What have we done so far? So, together we right now created or adjusted maybe or improved your mission statement, the why you're doing what you're doing, why are you existing, what is going on in the present right now. Then we went on and wrote down, created the vision. What is the future going to look like? What is my industry, my business, my community is looking like in 30 years, in 10 years, whatever. So we've done that. And from that, we could kind of, and your personal values that you created or wrote down last time. What are your values you're working on in your business? What is the basis of your decision-making day to day? And from that, or from all those three, you can look up and take it into your team and check if the team is aligning with all the stuff. Maybe you're needing someone else who is having a skill, a strength, a mindset that you're needing to make your business thrive, make your business better. But I hope you could take something from this mission, vision, values part, and we will go on. And one important note, I already said it, but still important, it's okay or allow it to yourself. It's okay that if your mission, vision, values statements are not done, even if they're like 50% done or 60 or 70, it's okay. It's important that you start. It's important that you start to write it down. It's okay to discuss it with your team members. If they see it that way, it's okay to tweak it, and it's totally fine. And I hope that you refine it along the journey of building your business, because it will change. You're changing. I mean, we're all not the same people we were like 5 years ago. So allow it to yourself to be not done and ready. Change it and tweak it. Give yourself the allowance to work on that. Good. So before we finish up the session, I would like to shortly dig into the UN SDGs, so the Sustainable Development Goals that all United Nations member states agreed on in 2015. And as you can see, you can look them up, each of them with the definitions. And I saw already in some of your mission and vision statements that the SDGs were part of it. But in the basic grounds is the SDGs cover the world's biggest challenges. So like, for example, as you can see, they want to have no poverty or zero hunger. I was looking on the one, gender equality could be something for you, for example, or clean water and sanitation. What I mean with for you is like your women entrepreneurs, your ladies in business, and we're fighting together against gender inequality. So like not only one gender is having access to all this stuff. So why is it important that you look into those UN SDGs? Is because they are a common language for your values, for example, that you can take into, and it's a way to communicate with partners, with other funders, with investors, with mentors, stakeholders, because it's like a common language and you can be like, okay, that's one of my goal. It means even like your vision could be part of one of the SDG. So this only means like when you're aligning your vision to one or two of the SDGs, you're just saying, okay, my business, my work contributes to a global effort. We're working together as different countries, and I'm part of something bigger. And even like in the financing sector or funding, in your pitch deck, it's important for investors and grant makers to know which SDGs you're working on. Where is your impact going on? Oh, we have already one, no poverty, gender equality, 13, climate action, and responsible consumption and production. Very good. Thank you. So last question from my side, I hope so. Could you please share with us, somebody started already, which SDGs does your business align with? One or two is totally enough, but if you have more, let me know. Mine, is that correct? 2 is zero hunger, gender equality, decent work and economic growth, yep, and climate action. Claudiana, decent work and economic growth. Climate, nice. No poverty, gender equality, zero hunger, decent work and economic growth. Very good. One, two, three, 5, 12, 13. Thank you. Good health and well-being. Thank you so much. Thank you. So yeah, looks good. Use that framework, use those sustainable development goals, and put that into your pitch deck for investors or partners. It will only help you, and maybe you can even put it in as part of your vision or mission statement, depending on how you define it, but use it to make your pitch deck better and to give you yourself an advantage in talking to investors and partners, an advantage compared to other competitors. Thank you so much. 9, we didn't have 9. Industry, innovation, infrastructure. Nice. Thank you. Cool. Thank you so much. I'm looking at the time, but I'm almost finished. Yeah, that's what we've done. So your homework, that slide, but I think Danielle, you will talk a bit more about it. Just a short intro. Please finalize the slides 5 and 6 in your workbook. If you didn't already put it in, please put it in. And a little tip for a pitch deck, where to show your why, your mission, vision statement, in the slides or in the pages for a team, the problem you're trying to solve, and the impact slides. So that's from my side. Thank you so much. I will be staying here for questions, comments, and I will give over to Danielle.
Thank you so much, Jana. What a great session, a great first training session for the ladies. Ladies, before I take over completely, please, if you do have any questions for Jana, pop them into the chat now so that we can just answer them. We still have a bit of time before the session officially ends. And
Yes.
just
I'm
checking
here.
the chat. Janet says, thank you. Maureen says, thank you so much. Chio, the assignment again, I'll bring that up in just a second. I'll talk you through the workbook again in terms of homework. Just bear with us for 2 minutes just to answer any questions on the content.
And if you have like questions afterwards, you can either add me on LinkedIn, or I think I need to go into the WhatsApp group as well. Just write me a short message and we will discuss that.
Perfect. Okay, great. It looks like there maybe aren't any questions at the moment, but as Jana says, if you do have some that come up later, also she'll be here with us next week as the trainer. You can indeed ask as we go along. Let me just share my screen again. Let me. Lulu has raised her hand. Lulu, go ahead. If you have a question, please feel free to unmute yourself.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Jana. What I want, excuse me, what I wanted to check was if you've got sort of two visions. My vision is producing quality raw honey, but I also train women as beekeepers. How do I combine the two? Because each time I'm trying, I do one and then I do the other in a different context. So how do I do it as one?
I would should actually just put them together. I mean, you want to produce pure honey from your country,
Correct.
and train those ladies. So you can just combine them
Yes.
too. I don't see any intersection with that. Just put them in one sentence. I mean, even
Okay.
like training the ladies leads to better honey. So it's kind
Correct.
of like
Yes.
a correlation between them.
Okay, because it's a
Yeah.
community development element and the
Mhm.
other one is a pure business. So it's okay to combine the two.
Of course, of course.
Okay,
Of
perfect. Okay.
course, yes. But if the others have other opinions, peer coaching
No, I think it
session.
also depends on your audience a bit, right? So sometimes there'll
yeah.
be a time when you want to lean more into the community development aspect of it. At other
Yes.
times, there might be times that you lean more into just the production of the pure honey without any additives and preservatives, etc. So also just gauge your audience. You know, if you're doing it as a standard pitch to a broad
Yep.
audience, then as Jana says, you'll want to combine both of those. But if you're just speaking to people commercially, then maybe they care more about the commercial aspect of the honey production, and others will lean much more into the community side because, again, like as I said at the beginning, you're always going to have competition, right? So if someone is now looking at your honey compared to somebody else's, if they also see, for example, on your packaging that you're making an impact in your local community, in addition to providing great honey as a consumer, they may be more inclined to buy from you because your message resonates with something else that's important to them. So I think most of the time you will combine them, but sometimes you might flex more on one side than the other.
Perfect. Thank you.
Of course, you're welcome. Other questions, ladies? All right. I will assume that that's a no, but if anything comes up, pop it into the chat or raise your hand while I walk through these last couple of slides about what's next. So the first thing that's next is your homework. So as Jana mentioned, you will be working on the workbook, the same sections that you've been doing during today's session. You'll just refine them a bit. Maybe you have a couple of things that you weren't able to complete. Maybe you have some additional ideas that you want to put into there. So you'll just complete the sections that are relevant to today's training topic, which I think Jana had said is page 5 and 6. I see that there is just a couple of thank yous. Okay. And then once you have finished those relevant sections, I am going to share this link with you ladies on WhatsApp. I'll also pop it right now into the chat. But once you finish those relevant sections, you are going to complete a very, very short Google form. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, and send that form, complete that form by 12 p.m. East Africa time on Monday in order to qualify for a review of your content. So what do I mean by a review of your content? Each week, I am going to hand select 2 of you to receive additional feedback on the content that you have put into your workbook. So at the beginning of the next session, I will, based on who has completed the form, which I'll show you in a second, based on who's completed the form, I am going to select 2 of you to then receive additional feedback from both Yana and myself on whatever it is book for that relevant section. Okay. And we will do this every single time that there's a training session. So this is what the form looks like. This is what the form looks like. It will take you to a Google form. Let me pop this into the chat as well, and we'll share this on the WhatsApp group when the session finishes. So every single time that there is a training session, I will remind you of this. I'll ask you to complete this form in advance of our session, and it's super short. All that you have to put in is, what is your name? Have you completed this week's homework? Yes or no? What questions do you have about the particular section that we're covering? So this week it will be around mission-driven entrepreneurship and your why. And then please share the Google Drive link to your workbook. Now, remember at the beginning of the session, we each made our own copy. So please share your link on this form so that I can then go in and have a look at it. In order for me to see it, you have to make sure that your sharing is open. If it isn't, you'll see an email come up for me that's like, hey, I need access to your workbook. But hopefully you've done that already when we opened up the session and you copied your workbook initially. So let me pop this into the chat right now. Okay, so this is the form. The form link is going to be exactly the same every single time that I ask you to complete it. You will just resubmit again with your name, your questions, whether you've done the homework, yes or no, and then the link to your workbook. As I said, I will then hand select 2 of you to give you further feedback on the content that you put in for the relevant section of this week's session, okay? Let me know if there's any questions about any of that before I move on to the next part, but I hope it's pretty self-explanatory. Yep, Fanja.
Yes, thank you. My question is, so for this week then, the section we need to complete within the workbook is the section, section 1, right?
Yeah, just section 1. You don't need to move ahead. Next week, Yana is going to take you through section 2, and then in subsequent weeks, the other trainers will take you through sections 3, 4, et cetera, et cetera. So only focus on section 1. We've given you time during the session on purpose so that it doesn't feel like an overwhelming task to do in between now and the next session, but really just go back and refine it, add additional information in, especially if you weren't able to do all of it in the time that we have given to you. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, ladies. The other thing that I want to remind you of today is that you also have an opportunity for mentoring. I know some of you have already completed your motivational statement and sent it to Christina, but if you have not done that yet, the deadline for doing so is next Tuesday. So you have 1 more week to complete this. Antefil, I'll give you the link in just a second. You'll even see a QR code on the screen. So if you want to prepare your phone for that, you'll be able to go straight to WhatsApp. But let me come back to that. So if you haven't done so already and you are interested in receiving that 6 hours of mentoring support between June and July, then please make sure that you are submitting your motivation letter by next week on Tuesday. Just a reminder, the first criteria is going to be the number of sessions that you've attended. The second criteria is going to be your activity levels during the session, and all of you have been super active, so I'm super excited to see that you're participating and engaging. And then the third thing is that motivation letter. That motivational statement is going to include why would you like to engage with a mentor, and also what topics would you like to focus on. The reason that the topics are important is because it will help us to match you with one of the European experts based on her area of expertise and also what you need. Yeah, so Chiara has put in a quote into the chat from one of our previous participants about the power of mentorship, and what you can really get from it. So she shares, harness the power of your mentor, let yourself be creative, take more risks, explore new ventures with your business because you will have someone at your side that can help you navigate through challenges. If you hit a wall, she, the mentor, will help you break that wall. So it's a really great opportunity for you to have additional support during the duration of this program and really have one person whose eyes are deep inside your business, who's holding your hand throughout it and is giving you a different way of looking at things and helping you overcome any challenges. So if it's something that you want to be involved in, then please do that letter. Gugu, I see the link is not opening on your side. Is that the link for the form or is that the link for the workbook? For the power store. Oh, I don't know why that's the case. Maybe her URL is down at the moment. I'm not sure. Okay. All right. Our next session is going to be also with Yana. It's your second training session, and it's going to be around what. So crafting your unique value proposition and doing a bit of product development during the course of that training program. Now, again, your unique value proposition is something that's going to help you stand apart from other people that are doing something similar or indeed exactly the same as you, because it's going to differentiate you from your competition. So we're looking forward to that session next week with Yana. Come with an open mind. Even if you think that you figured out your business model and that you know everything that you're doing, there's an opportunity to still refine it further. So that's going to be next week's session, exact same time, exact same place, and exact same trainer. So same face as well. And okay, so there's a question here from Suzanne. Kindly explain what you mean not to edit directly in the workbook. So the first link that you go to for the workbook is going to be to the link that everybody has access to. So let me go back to it. So when you first click on this link here, or the one that Christina shared in the chat, you are going to be taken to the workbook that everybody has access to. So you might find that you have edit access to that workbook, and we are asking you, do not make any edits directly to this version of the workbook. Instead, what you'll do is you will go to File, make a copy of the entire presentation, and then you'll have the opportunity to rename the file, make a copy of it, and share it with the same people. So only make an edit once you've done this step of making a copy. I hope that's clear. Okay, let me go back to the slides. Great. All right, so here are some useful links if you don't have them already. There is a Google folder, which I think Christina has shared a number of times, but it's here on the slides as well, so you'll see it on the slide deck and the replay. We would love for you to join the WhatsApp group. So for the lady who asked a few minutes ago about the WhatsApp group, if you open up your WhatsApp right now on your phone and you go to scan this QR code that's here on the bottom right-hand side, so I think Yana's doing it as well, this will bring you directly to the group so that you don't have to worry about the link itself. So if you have the ability to do that right now, then please do so with this QR code on the bottom right-hand side. But if not, then I will also give you this link. The link is also inside the chat just now. So if you click on this link, it will bring you to the group. You'll request to join, and then one of the admins will approve you. All right. So if there's any other questions, please pop them into the chat now, or feel free to raise your hand, let us know. Otherwise, we will wrap up. So I'll give you a minute to type anything that you need to type. And we will see you again at the same time, same place, same Zoom link next week at 10:30 Central European time, East African time. You're welcome, Maureen. Thank you, Franja. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Natasha. You're welcome. You're welcome. Karibu. See you next week, ladies. All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.
All right.